welcome to SGDC. I'm your solar power host, Skibbity James. Riz. Wow. Woo, skibbity. Fire. Show your stuff. First up to show their Riz, fire, skibbity, swag. Andreas!
Hello. So I'm not going to show a presentation. I was just going to talk about my game. I'm a game dev, you know.
First one?
I might be the first one. It's called Not Us, and it's right here. We don't have music. Well, anyway. We are going to hopefully release this maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, whenever our Steam page is up, so we can link to it. Sorry, the demo, not the full game. And that's all you get to see. Or I can show you a breakneck speed version of some game mechanics that is sort of a trailer that I made, but I kind of don't want to call it a trailer because I don't make trailers. I'm a game dev. That's great. Okay.
Can you download the demo?
Not quite yet. But the only reason it's not out now is that we want the Steam page to be up so people can wishlist. Yes, so I'm glad everybody online got to hear that last question. Also, I just realized I forgot everybody's name. Sorry. Are we done? Thank you.
Alright, next up, Javier. Why does he always sign up and not show up?
He's coming. Yeah, he's coming. See you next one.
Danny!
Oh no! Oh no!
Professional. Yes.
Okay, so this one was added by Casper. I had a painting of myself before, but I guess this suits. Okay, so I think most people know me, but yeah, I'm Danny, and I'm working on a couple of games. Words. Oh yeah, we did the Whistle Willy, or I can't remember what we called it back then. Was that it?
Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, Steamboat Willy. Yeah. And we are getting it published by the house. So this is something that we are also working on. But it's so while I was away, I was doing a lot of market research and competitive analysis and stuff. So yeah, this is probably gonna end up being released around October. So it's gonna be a while, but we're probably gonna have a Steam page up late February. The thing is that we kind of wanted to finish some mechanics so that it looks like it's not just some cheap game jam game. So yeah, we wanted to make sure to have those mechanics visually there so we can put it in for trailer and stuff. And so yeah, all of this other stuff was just some communication stuff between the team and I. Anyways, I'm also working on Core with my brother, Migo, which is a hack and slash top-down boss rush game. And yeah, I think this was the last thing that I was working on, was this thing that I had rigged, and I was experimenting with some effects, which this one is cut. But anyways, we added some art for the arena, and you can fight it now, although it still needs some work until it's proper fun and the effects look not ugly. But yeah, so that's where that is at currently. There's also going to be like merchants in the game. So this one is a talent thing, but we wanted for the demo also to have one that could add like terrible stuff to your character, so that it makes the game more difficult. So this is a design for that character, but it's still work in progress. Yeah, we also needed a lot of different characters for the hub area for the demo. So that's also something that I've been working on the last couple of days. So these are some concepts for that, and these are some of the more finished versions that will be in there. Yes, that was it. Thank you very much. Yes.
As regards Whistle Willy, or Steamboat Willy as it used to be called, during your market research, did you come across many other games that are featuring kind of like Mickey Mouse inspired things now that it's in public domain? And have you considered adding a psychotic Popeye to your game now that he's in?
Well, we've been discussing it actually, the Popeye thing, but it's not on the to-do list currently. As for whether or not we had encountered other Steamboat Willie stuff, was that it? Part of the
Steamboat
question?
Willy or Mickey Mouse kind of related stuff?
Not as much as I had thought, honestly, but there was, like, for an example, we were like, oh yeah, we can definitely name it like Steamboat, what was it, Steamboat Willie or something, Whistle Willie, whatever, but it's all taken. So yeah, we'll probably have to change the name. So that's a thing. Yeah. Great, thanks.
Next up, Javier.
So I think I missed my first toilet.
Yep,
I was on the toilet.
classic.
I know. You wanted that info. Yeah. So I'm back once again from one of my many leaves. But more importantly, we have started making buildings for... Actually, no, we have not started. We have pretty much finished making buildings for the bandits for Outlaw Kingdom. But I'm only going to show the cultist ones today. For once, I'm not going to just drop 20 pieces of artwork and not say much. I want to talk about how and why I made them, and therefore show less artwork. We will, of course, put the artwork in the showcase thing, so it can be checked out there. And of course, yeah, there's also a link for wishlisting there if you ever feel like that. So, as you might remember, my last presentation that was not a psychotic rant about me being behind deadlines. I was introducing these buildings I made concepts for because the first building I worked on had a concept that was similar to the gray sketches down there, and that was horrible, so I've now colored and made them cleaner so I can actually work off that. And we started off with this tavern for cultists where they can gather and meet. It's kind of where you can recruit your low-level cultists. And I didn't want like the big altar thing for just the low-level boring cultists, so I thought like shady tavern. This is kind of where these shady and kind of assassin and also cultist-like characters like to hang out. Now to make this shadier, we added little ravens on the top, which Helen made and I animated, so to make it a bit cuter. Then we have like this hanged character who probably upset, I think it was the former bar owner before the cultists moved in there, on the front, and we have this burial site for evidence here in the front with the evidence neatly wrapped up. So how did I make this? I didn't feel like hand painting the entire building as one, so I decided to resort to something that Cheyenne has mentioned many, many times here, trim sheets. So I basically just flat painted any texture I thought I would need on this sheet and then organized it semi-neatly in a shape that I found likely for this specific material to be needed. For example, I made the wooden beams rather long and I made the wall texture more square shaped. The way you then apply this is if you have a cube and you just take that, it has a UV, if you just UV unwrap it like kind of this, like a cardboard if you unfold that. And if you then take any side of that and just take that one side, you don't have to apply any seams, you just select that and slide it onto the part you want displayed, it will project that image from your map onto that. So, I mean, this unfortunately is sort of orange because that's just how Blender displays that, and I don't know how to change that, but you would see that wood texture that is under here now kind of displayed on the cube. And you can repeat that, and you can also use like stretching and to get the things onto the thing. And once you're done with that, you have something that takes all the things from this wood and puts it on the side that you need. You of course have to do that with all the sides, and that's still a bit of work. But you can then copy and paste that around your landscape, and you don't have to hand paint it, which saves me a lot of work, and actually it's also very efficient because now this only uses about this much space on your texture sheet instead of a lot more, and you can use it a lot across like any building that would further use this set of materials you have created. So if efficiency is something that's important to you, for example, if you make a huge city or you work in mobile games like Sharon does, you can make a very small texture sheet that actually can support very large and complex structures. Like you could make one that could do an entire city for you if you needed that for some reason. Yeah, and then we move on to the Blood Obelisk, which is like the cultists' main site at the level we have currently. It's where they come to sacrifice people, which is why there is a Warhammer-esque amount of skulls lying around everywhere. It has an evil red glow because it's evil, and I failed to get a well-looking moving GIF in there, but actually it kind of has this thing where it kind of rotates around itself and kind of crumbles and then tries to reassemble itself, but always ends up crumbling, so it's like a kind of has this chaotic influence of change to it to some degree. And it has these cute little demons praying to it, next to it, to show that it's a site of worship. And there we have the trim sheet for that, so that was a lot more actual hand painting, and you can see you can take parts of a trim sheet, like the wall thing here, and you can combine that with a normal UV, unwrapped thing and just make one texture out of it so you can get kind of the best of both in one thing. And then I have run out of time, but thankfully I'm pretty much at the end of my presentation. We also have this skull bar where the more high-level cultists meet. We unfortunately have no idea how this skull ever got so big. I think it's just there because it's really cool. Maybe they abducted a mage and made them make a human skull really cool so they could live in it. And like any cultist building, it has cute ravens on top of it that will move. And yeah. So are there any questions or jokes? Yes.
When it comes to the trim sheets, how do you decide what you need to put on them? Like you used your concept art, I guess, and then how do you space it out?
Pretty much. So I take the concept art and I then kind of just take a normal sheet of paper and write down what I think will be the textures for that. And then and that's kind of unprofessional, but I do kind of arbitrarily decide how much space I think they need based on how big I think the objects that we use it will be in the scene. And after that, once I have one of those, whenever I make a new building, I will see what could I reuse of the texture sheets I already have, and then if I can find a texture sheet that just fits, I just use that, otherwise I just assemble one out of trim sheets I already have. Maraka again.
What's the base size of your trim sheets, like from the resolution?
Well, they're ridiculously big right now because Casper has told me that we don't care about efficiency, so they're 4K textures. But they could be a lot smaller and they would still work, especially for our game, which is like a top-down strategy game. But as long as Casper tells me I can do whatever I like about efficiency, I will.
It's easier to make it smaller always.
Yeah, that's true. I think even in AAA they work with 6 to 8K and then go down.
It has a compression feature, so that was our plan to use that.
Yeah, my models and textures are afraid. Yeah, I will disappear now.
Next up, Mareike.
Oh my god, okay, I made it, guys. We had a party yesterday, I apologize. Yep, and I already noticed a mistake of mine. I didn't send the link to the presentation, but the link to my Milanote boat twice. That sucks. Am I the last one?
No, I'll do something else in between them.
Yeah. That's the problem when you rush.
I'm too tired for this shit. Hello, my name is James, and welcome to Jackass. Next up, Julia.
Hello and welcome to the Weekly Narrative Games News, or if you'd rather call it this way, the NGDC. I'm an AI, but I'll be narrating Naravin's video because the guys had no time to record it themselves. Wankers. First, heist schoolers. We're toying around with some shaders at the moment, trying to decide if we want to go full cartoon or still keep a bit of the realistic look our 3D has. The problem with going with the shader cartoon is that it means a big change in the art direction and drawing a lot of the textures ourselves. Remember that the current textures we have, along with everything 3D we have, come 99% from the asset store and meant no time from our part. This will mean a lot more work, but is also way prettier. So, if you're curious about the iterations on the cartoon shader, please follow the Drama in High Schoolers dev thread in the Showcase channels. On other news in High Schoolers, the story writing is still ongoing and, oh right, our Steam page is finally live. For the occasion, we hope you'll enjoy this 38 seconds trailer that took us way too long to make. Please go wishlist our game, because you all know how wishlists are the most important thing for Steam, yada yada, begging, blah blah blah, please love me, etc. Okay, now moving to Echo Home News. We have decided to not only develop the short horror game aforementioned, but also to take advantage of the soon-coming call for project in Switzerland to maybe start a full anthology of short horror games. The anthology is taking inspiration from Netflix shows like Black Mirror or Love, Death, and Robots. We haven't decided on a name yet, but it would be called something like The Blackout Tales or Eventually You Die Tales. Anyway, the idea with this is really to develop and produce a lot of very short pieces, and put them all under the same Steam page, every new one as a DLC for $2 to $3 each. Yeah, we stole this idea from Fears to Fathom, no shame. This is only at an ideation stage, so don't take my word for it. It may be completely different or even not exist anymore in the coming weeks. It was just to keep you guys in the loop of our creative process. And now that we're wrapped with the game's news, we just wanted to re-mention that we did a presentation yesterday about our time in Spell during the Lausanne monthly meetup, and people are hyped. If there is a mass migration from Switzerland to Sweden in the coming months, I wouldn't be surprised. The Americans won't even need to remember that we're 2 different countries anymore. Okay guys, time to wrap up. That was it from Naravan Games, aka Max and Julia. And no, I don't get credit because I'm an AI, and AI never get credit for anything they do, which is really a shame. I'd like to have a name, by the way. Maybe next time. Ciao!
Do we have Julia in the chat? Do we know?
Not that I can see. No.
All right. Any questions for Julia that I can answer? No? Okay. In such case, next up, Mareike.
Hello! It's totally the first time I've been here. Wow, look at this great link I'm clicking. That's hopefully my presentation. Yes. I've been lurking around, working on my art style. I have a lot of stuff to do. I'm going on a conference, or like our kickoff meeting in February. I also been planning a lot of stuff, so I'm kind of handling 10 hats at the same time, but I'm still alive and having fun with it. So my art style is gonna be going in towards Illustrative Vibrant 2.5D, which I will elaborate more in the future, but in general, it's supposed to be stylized and painterly, a bit like Monster Prom, but maybe not as vibrant. And then I mix in aesthetics from the Romantic era, you know, like Caspar David Friedrich. And, you know, like, I can tell you all these names, but I probably won't tell you anything except I show you. So, on the left side, you have Julie Broca. It's a French name. I'm sorry. But her art is incredible. She is a concept artist. She does a lot of historic redrawings, and it's freaking gorgeous. So her style has been a big influence on what kind of direction I want to go when it comes to my shape language. And on the right you have Tu Mouche. Well, that's one of the famous pictures, and that's more like the vibe. Like her resting bitch face is absolutely my favorite. And these are also paintings out of the time out of the 19th century that I will work with. So these work really as inspirations of the moods, the style, the decor. Even though I'm not adapting an oil painting style, I am not going to be able to finish it in my lifetime otherwise. Here you have some more. It's Ivan.
It's worse than the French.
Yakovlevich. Please don't hate me. Really been. Anyway, he is an incredible illustrator for fairy tales. So you can see he has like a beautiful shape language as well. He uses outlines and very little coloring and shading to create like these luscious pieces. By the way, this is the cover from Baba Yaga, and that's the young woman that has a skull as a light. It's a great story. And on the right, you have, of course, Monster Prom. And, you know, of course, this kind of styles look very, very different, but I'm kind of aiming to bring it a bit together and stylize it. And yeah, so I'll be already doing some research. I kind of forgot about this slide. But the cool part is, there's, of course, real fashion I can look at, and I've been going nuts about the Kunstgewerbemuseum in Berlin. Well, because I'm going to be in Berlin, I will totally go there and look at this dress in reality. And they have a lot of fashion from the 19th century, and there are a lot more museums, of course, that have fashion like that. So my dream would be to be, hey guys, I'm a video game developer. Please let me look at your dresses. Can I maybe make photos of them? Great. So they have huge funduses and partially online dresses like this one I just pulled out. They have it in their catalog, and it's so beautiful, and they have long descriptions as well. So I'm insanely hyped, and I hope I will gonna be able to see some of these things in real life, because they will be a huge inspiration for my dress-up game. But as well, there have been a lot of illustrations left, and as well like dresses that I can look into that were classic. The left one is actually from the Swedish museum in Stockholm. Some of the dresses are a bit questionable in their choice. They say they love the power shoulders, but we'll see what I will gonna do with it. But as you can see here, I've already been doing some tests. The left one is like, my old interpretation of the style, where I've been trying out the shape language, but also making it my own. Especially if you look at this area on the bottom where I do the folds, I try to make them very graphic and more like, they look a bit more like stone, but I really like the sharp corners, and I want to explore this a bit more, because I might be able to do these then in 3D as well, because, I can put this together and see how it goes. Also been doing thumbnailing. My project is in a lot of ugly faces right now, so that's what you get. These are my sketches for some of the cover art I want to do, and they're not pretty yet, but they're doing what I want to, which is figuring out what I'm gonna do with it and develop it further and getting some themes across, because Stille is silence. I'm about one sentence done, and Stille is being silent, so I have her hair going over her mouth, all these little visual tries, and then the bottom one is more inspired from actually movie covers that often have period dramas have the construction like that, but we'll see. Questions? Well, it must be Gustav presenting then if they're not. Yeah.
One from the chat is, what kind of game is this?
It's a dress-up roguelike with that is narrative driven. So, yes, if that answers your questions, I will talk far more about this in the future. So, because on Friday, so tomorrow, I will also present one of my paper prototypes for you to test. I'm telling you that right now, so I actually finish it. And if I'm very productive, it might be even made out of Lego. So, yes. More questions? No? Anyone feels like dressing up for my Gamescom booth? No? Okay. We'll see.
Next up, Paulina.
You thought it was only her, but it's me. Dio.
I'm gonna leave it mostly the talking to Alice, because I can't keep it together for more than 30 seconds.
Okay, well, hello. We are leaving Spelkollektivet after I've been here for 2 years, and she's been here for 2.5. This is probably how it's gonna go, as we are leaving, and then we have to stay. We were volunteers for a few months. This is from Paulina's perspective, her worst enemy, the dishwasher. Would you like to speak more on that? No? Okay, we'll keep going. But we have been here for quite some time. We have made a lot of macks, as we call them, which is sandwiches in Swedish. And we've done a bunch of things. We've been to cons, we've been to hikes, we've drank out of buckets, we've celebrated birthdays, we've met cats and dogs and everything in between. And we have some more pictures of Jay and more cats and Borsha? Savo? And there is also a frog. We have done Halloween, we have seen bugs, we have drank a lot of Monster, and Paulina has worked on some great art for a game that we never made. Other than that, we've also played a lot of D&D with a lot of different cool people. You might know some of them, you might not. Here are some different scenes that have happened. A lot of killing innocent people. And it was all in Lego, because I am autistic. And then Max was in our first campaign, and he made a lot of cool art of the different characters. So this awesome one with the little cat was Paulina's character. Chris's character was this one. And then Max's character was a human. But then at the end of the campaign, could wish for anything, and he wanted to be a centaur. We never really investigated more than that. Oh, and here's also some art that Paulina made of a thing that happened in the story. And then, yeah, a lot has happened. We're gonna miss all of you so much. Tomorrow, also Friday, we are going to sort of just have a chill, sit down in the coaster corner probably, just talking to anyone who wants to talk. Round room. Talking with anyone who wants to talk.
At 8.
At 8, she thinks. And we're moving closer to these cute dogs, further away from this cute dog. And we're moving to this place, which is a little apartment in my hometown with a cute little alcove. It's going to be nice. We'll take better pictures when we actually live there. But yeah, we will be back for jams, game jams, and other things. But yeah, for now, bye-bye. And if anyone has any questions. Oh, and also Paulina worked on something, but she hasn't told you about it. And she will never. Any questions? Marika?
When will you be back?
Whenever, so it's up to James when he holds a jam, really. So if he never wants us to come back, he never holds another jam.
There's no one like next month.
I will probably not back next month. Again, we're also, people are a bit traumatized from people leaving. We're leaving. We're 2 hours away. Like we're not a country away. And if anyone wants to visit, talk to my agent, Marika again.
What are you doing next?
I am studying geology because I like rocks and I think they rock. And yeah, that's what I thought, motherfucker.
Do you think geology and rocks interest is an autistic thing? You're the one who said it first.
Listen.
I definitely think the sandwiches are.
Yeah. No, but I like geology, and I want to keep doing game dev, and I want to make a game about rocks because they rock. Marika again.
What's your favorite rock?
Well, actually, they're minerals. I like jade. I know, pretty basic, but I like jade. Any questions for
Dwayne Johnson?
Yes.
No.
Danny.
Will we see some SGDC presentations?
Maybe.
About rocks.
I think it's easier to do a compilation of both what we've done here and what we're currently working on when I'm not having a mental breakdown looking at photos.
Johanna.
Where is Sierra?
My operatives have many safe places.
I'll reveal Fitzgerald in a photo tomorrow.
I also want to know where he's been all this time.
In the same space.
No, that's not true.
Almost the same space.
No, that's not true.
He's hidden in plain sight.
He's been in a lot of places. What are you doing when we move? She's studying animation. She's so beautiful. Any other questions?
Yeah, me.
Yes.
On the subject of animation. Where did you get the skeleton? I really want to know.
Which skeleton? Oh, this one?
Or no, that. One of the...
In the corner. That one?
Yes!
I made it for
Wow,
a game that
thank you.
never came very far.
Yeah. If you want to hire her, you can.
That is all the resume I need.
But yeah, thank you all.
All right. Next up to Traitorous. Shoot.
Yeah, so I'm also leaving Saturday 9 a.m. So yeah, if you want to say goodbye, probably Friday night is a good time, or whenever. But yeah, it's been a pleasure being here. I've been here for the past 3 months and 9 months of the past year. This is a very special place, and I really have enjoyed my time here and appreciate all the people here. I'm gonna talk about the game that I'm working on. I'm gonna let you cook because this has kind of been my main focus the past 3 months. Before I came to Spell, I had basically an initial game jam I participated in and some a little bit of work afterwards. But I had this game that definitely had some fun elements, but it was very chaotic. Basically, the concept is there's a conveyor belt that dispenses ingredients, and you put them on the omelet, and they score based on the way they touch and interact with other ingredients. So yeah, it was very chaotic, had no real depth, no juice. I didn't really know who the game was for. No decision making because it was just going so fast. You would just drag whatever you saw, whatever you could grab onto it. So during Spell, the biggest thing that I did is I changed kind of that core gameplay loop to a semi-turn-based mode, where basically you get a selection of 3 ingredients at a time, and the conveyor belt is still moving, so you still have a little bit of time pressure. But you pick one of the 3 ingredients. That way, there's you're actually making a choice, and then you have a certain amount of kind of ingredients you can put on until the next round. And then I added a bunch of stuff, relics, multipliers, which is kind of it allows synergies where you can get this one ingredient makes all the ingredients it touches worth twice as much. So now this one that adds more points to this one will make this number go crazy. Is the idea. Customers, there's money in a shop now, there's more juice, and most importantly, I play tested I think every single Friday or close to every single Friday. I took it there and I was got some very great feedback. I'm very proud of kind of how far along it's come. And then the next thing is art. This is a recent development. Yelda offered to help me make the art good because I am not an artiste, although it was fun to this was my first time trying to do pixel art, and these are very much not final assets. He's still kind of trying to figure out the vibe right now, and we're not really happy with these yet, but we do love this big chicken guy for sure. So yeah, I'm super stoked to be working with Yelda more and excited to see what he can do. And I'm also working with Marika. She's been doing capsule art for me. And this has been a really cool process. I'll show a little bit of it. I'm sure Marika would be able to give you more detail. But basically, from my perspective, these were the first 3 kind of images that she gave me, and I really love the character of the chicken and the letters being ingredients is a cool idea, but I think readability wise was a little difficult. So the bottom one was the one we liked the most amongst these, and then she made 3 more. And amongst these 3, my eyes really gravitate to the bottom left one with the omelet. It's very readable, and I don't know, the omelet looks quite appealing. But for me, I really wanted to have a character on there that shows you that the game is a bit goofy and silly. And then so she made this one, and I love this very much. As soon as I saw this, I couldn't stop smiling. And then now the latest one that she just sent earlier today with some colors is this, and I think that this stands out very nicely amongst some of the other roguelike games as well as cooking games out there, and just I find it very visually appealing and has that character on it. And then so after Spell, I basically just need to add a few more kind of features before it's feature complete, and then I can kind of expand content until I feel like it's done. But yeah, it needs better tutorial, more juice, needs a meta progression. But I kind of have a plan for it. I'll do a Steam Next Fest in February, and then I'll release it in March, ideally, if all goes well. Yeah, and I'll be playtesting it tomorrow, one final time after dinner. And I would like to use this opportunity to get on my soapbox and just say to everyone that, like, for me, like, playtesting here has been the most valuable thing that I've kind of gotten, at least for developing this game. And I would very highly recommend, even if you don't feel like you're ready with your game, like, try to playtest often. You learn a lot that you just wouldn't think about if you're only playing it yourself. And I would love to see more people coming to Playtest Fridays, and I would love to see that live on in some form after I'm gone. I'm sure that Martin will lead the charge and yeah, get people coming. And I'll also put out a public demo at some point in like the showcase channel. Yeah, probably in a week or so. Yeah, because for me, I'm after this, I'm going to New Zealand for a month. I'm spending like a week with a bunch of other game developers that I met in Sweden many years ago. Yeah, so I'll spend a week with them, and then I'll spend 3 weeks with a solo camper van, just like driving around, going to the mountains of New Zealand, and hiking a bunch, and hopefully also working on Omelette You Cook. And then I'll go back to the States, and then if all goes well, I'll move to Berlin in like 3 months. I've been working full-time contract work as well for a studio there, remotely, so yeah, I want to move there, and that'll be nice because then I'll be closer to Spell and I can come visit, and that's definitely the plan. Like, yeah, if everything goes how I have in my head, then I'll be back for the Midsummer Game Jam. Yeah, that's all I got. Any questions? Yeah, Remy?
Why did you decide to make a game about cannibalism?
You know, that's a good question. It was not really intentional, but like chickens do be eating chickens and eggs, so it's you know, it's realistic. And also, I just love chickens, so there's probably gonna be a chicken in every game that I make going forward. Yeah, Marika?
Will you keep us posted when you travel through New Zealand? So could we get like cool travel updates?
Yeah. I don't know whether I will do live updates, but I definitely will be taking a lot of pictures, and I'll have some kind of, yeah, I'll post them in some form on the server or showcase or photos or something afterwards. Yeah, I'd definitely love to, because I mean, I'm very excited, like for this solo camper van, like I've imagined like living van life for, you know, a summer or something, so this will be a nice little test drive of, yeah, if that's actually fun or grueling. Yeah, Matt?
Was it hard committing to make the game so fast, and do you feel like you've got a lot out of it?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I've gotten a lot out of it, and yeah, it was hard because I had to put Dicey Bird Ball, my previous game, kind of on the shelf. That definitely was a difficult decision because I had invested like 2 years in it, and I like it. Yeah, like I definitely, I wanted to make a game in a short time frame and push myself to do it, and I haven't finished it yet, so we'll see, but it feels like I'm on the right pace, and it's also been a bit exhausting. I'm quite drained right now, but I have this vacation coming, so it's all right. But yeah, for me, like my goal is I want to make short, like 6-month development cycles, like, yeah, roughly games. So yeah, this is a good start, I think. Okie dokie, thank you everyone.
Yeah, that was the last one. All right. Thank you for joining on the stream. It's too bad we couldn't see what you said. Not that you said anything good anyway, I guess, but yeah, have a good life, I guess. Bye.